Hi everyone. Welcome to the weekly Glow Up Games Insecure Watch Along party. We've got some people from Glow Up and some friends here. So basically, we're just gonna watch the show together. Just to tell you a bit more about Glow Up Games. So we are a diverse game studio based out of New York City, but also lots of other places. And we are working on the official tie-in mobile game for the show that we're about to watch, Insecure. So I'm CEO Mitu Kandekar. We've also got from the team the wonderful Samus. Say hey, Samus.
Hi, hello.
So
I
Samus,
do.
tell us a little bit about what you do on the game because it's very
y-
exciting.
Yeah, so I am the resident rapper consultant. Basically, because as many of you know, if you've watched Insecure, the mirror rapping situation, Mirror Bitch, is a really important part of Issa's development and the series in general, and it goes all the way back to Awkward Black Girl. And so, in thinking about the kind of game that would make sense for Insecure, we knew we had to tie in something that engaged that part of it. So, I'm a rapper during the day, and so it was like, okay, it makes sense to kind of have me come in and work on some of the raps that'll be available in the game, and then also work on some of the music because I make beats too when I'm able to. And yeah, so that's what I'm working on for the game. It's really exciting. I'm so excited to be a part of this team. I feel seen and heard
And
by everyone on the team.
Samus is just a legend in her own right. So we're always super
Yes.
happy to just have her around and contributing and yeah, and just basically changing the way that rap games work. But more about that later. So also on the stream today, we've got a special guest. Dr. Sabria Stukes. I caught myself there
Yay.
because I never say doctor for myself or other people. So I'm like, because yeah, Samus is also a doctor. We have three PhDs.
Wow,
We
we are
have three
slaying in here.
PhDs on the stream right now. So
Multiple degrees,
multiple
multiple
degrees.
letters.
So
Hmm.
Sabria was super happy to have you here with us today because you are just one of my favorite people. We're always about that brown girl STEM magic. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do because you're amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's wonderful to be on this stream with the three of you plus Justin.
This is
Hi.
Justin, the mad woman from my house, as always.
Um,
Hello.
so my day job is not as exciting as making beats, but I do teach and run a program at City College, which is the flagship college for the CUNY system, and it's a program called it's a master's in translational medicine, which feels like a lot of words, but it's basically a program that teaches scientists and engineers how to design and develop more thoughtful medical technologies.
Mhm.
It's a year-long program. When I first started, I knew nothing about medical technologies. I really knew sort of nothing about how to, make those types of things into a business. My background and my PhD is in infectious diseases, so I've done work on tuberculosis, HIV. My thesis work was on a fungal pathogen called Cryptococcus. So for many, many years, I was in the lab doing bench science, which I really loved. But then after I graduated, it was one of those kind of I feel like whenever Issa has these like moments of like, what am I doing with my life? What is my next step?
Mhm.
Um, I very much relate to that because I was in that space for a few months after I graduated before I ended up getting the job that I have now. So I feel like this season, I really relate and connect to a lot of Issa's
Mm.
inner like speakings to herself
Mhm.
about like how do you connect all the dots that seem really disparate about the things that you really like and make money off of that.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
so and actually, Samus, when you were talking about the mirror raps, I also really like how this season, like, the mirror is talking back to Issa, because I also know, probably for many people, like when you talk to yourself in the mirror, sometimes you almost want
Mm.
almost like another version of yourself to say something like, girl,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what's going on? So it's also really nice to see that happening in this season. So anyway, I'll stop talking.
No, I
But
mean
yeah,
that's
that's basically what I
yeah,
do.
way to both introduce your amazing self and tie it to the themes of the show. So expertly
Yes.
done. Well done.
One thing I will say is it's always so funny to hear my friends say Dr. Stooks, because the only people that say it are my students.
Aw.
And even when they say it to me, a lot of them also say like Professor Stooks, and I sometimes I'm like, who are you talking to? Like, is that
That's a word. That is a real word.
Right, it's me. And so of course I have to be like, how can I help you?
Yes,
like that is who you're referring
professional
to.
adult.
A
Yeah.
whole ass, right? A whole ass doctor.
So it's like my students, and then my mom. Whenever she writes me like cards in the mail, she always writes Dr. Sabria Stooks.
Oh, that is so cute.
It's very sweet. I
know.
Sweet.
That is very, very cute. So, okay, so we know that you relate to sort of Issa and the things that she's going through, particularly this season. Before we get into this episode, so I'd love to get your take, Sabria, on what's been happening this season overall as we're about to go into this 7th episode of the season.
I mean, look, I just feel like a lot of this would be like a lot of this drama would be non-existent if there was just some clear communication from both parties.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of the discourse that I've been seeing on Twitter are people saying the reason that this feels so like it resonates so much with them is because we've all had that like friendship or that relationship that is almost like too awkward to talk about, but like you don't want to say the thing that needs to be said, and then like something happens or it comes to a head. And so I'm like neither Team Molly or Team Issa, to be quite honest, because I do feel like both of them have shit that they need to work out,
Mm-hmm.
and that there is a bit of projection. I mean, I will say that in the last episode, part of me was like, why wouldn't Issa just tell Molly she did that though? Just like casually.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not even casually, but just like, oh, like, remember when I asked you to help? Totally get that maybe that makes you a little uncomfortable, but like FYI, Nathan and I had this conversation, and I think he might ask Andrew, like, just want you to know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it would have been a simple thing to do, but I guess, I don't know. I mean, I guess it also speaks to the way that their relationship has got to such a sort of weird, almost toxic place where even broaching that sort of small thing feels like this big thing that's going to blow up for her. So I don't know. It's just they're a mess. Yeah,
and I think the other thing is like, even like when Eric and I were watching the last episode, it was like you could see the train wreck. It was like, oh, Molly, you don't like, now's not the time. You don't need to, because I feel like the thing that Molly does is she almost like tricks herself into thinking that she can just say these things without any repercussion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That she's like, oh, I'm just going to say this thing, and like everyone will automatically just be on my side because I'm right.
Right.
And to me, it's like, okay, you have a new boo, which is still quite fresh. Like, is this really not like how you want to represent yourself in front of them? Because it's not even really about that, but it's more like this, to me, it was like, it was Issa's night. So to me, it was like, she could have waited. She could have just been like, hey, like, this was a great night. But I need to talk to you about something tomorrow, whatever. I do feel like Molly has a hard time celebrating her friends' wins when she is not winning herself. And I think that is a really big life lesson that even I had to learn. Like, it's one of those things where, I would see my friends get job promotions or, get book deals or whatever. And I would always be like, oh, why isn't that me? And I think, what took me some time to realize was like, some of that shit, like, I didn't even want anyway. So like, why couldn't I just be, you know what I mean? But I think it was more that people were doing something and I was doing, or what it felt like, nothing.
Right.
But that was on me.
It's more about you than the other person, right? And I think that's something. Well, I think it's going to be really interesting because this episode, for everything we've seen, is going to focus entirely on Molly.
Okay, wait, and I just have a question because maybe I'm missing it, but there are no more like when you what is it, like next on? So like I don't even know what this next episode is about.
There is a next on. We saw the next on. So like it's We saw
They're on vacay. They're doing their vacay
so
thing.
the things that we do know about this episode that's going to happen is that number one, it's going to be seems like it's going to be all Molly and Asian Bay.
Which I kind of like when they do, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I mean, I think that it's going to be really interesting seeing their relationship sort of outside of everyone else and really just taking the time, because by this point in time as well, it's not really a fresh relationship anymore, right? Because of the way that the show's been moving through time. If you think about it,
it's been months, right?
It's been months. So they've been together.
Has it? Okay.
Yeah, because if you think about the way that they've been leading up to the block party, it's always been like 4 months until, 3 months until, and then we saw it.
Yeah, right.
And now it's like post that. So by this point, I think Molly and Andrew would have been together for maybe, I guess, 6 or 7 months at least.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perhaps,
Well, here's a
something like that.
question I have for you guys before we start.
Yeah.
Do you think Issa should have gone into the restaurant when she saw Molly sitting by herself?
Oh God, yes. Yeah.
I
That was
don't.
their spot. Oh, that's true. Samus, you weren't here with us last week, right? It was us and it was Latoya. And because I saw the spot because I was like, oh, that's the Ethiopian spot that we saw in episode 1. And it was like, oh, that's going to be a nice callback but no, it didn't happen. Wait, so Samus, would you not have gone in?
I wouldn't have gone in. B, I feel like, I don't know, that would have been forcing it, maybe. Like, maybe she doesn't want to repair it. Maybe she feels like she should. Maybe they both feel obligated to repair it for the sake of, like, sunk costs, or, like, because we've been friends. And, like, remember, it was, like, 2 episodes ago where Molly was like, I'm your best friend, right? And she said it in kind of like a snarkish way, but being serious. And Issa was sort of like, I guess. And so they have these labels, but I don't think that they actually make sense with where they're at this point.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too, because what are they, like, third? Like, Issa just turned 30,
yeah,
31 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's also around the time when, at least for me and a lot of my other friends too, where it was like, well, just because we've been friends for a really long time, that doesn't necessarily.
It's not a reason.
That is not. That cannot just be the reason
right.
that we're still being friends if it's not working anymore.
Yes.
Jordan in the chat is saying that Jordan would have avoided that restaurant just like Issa. Their first interaction needs to be in private in order to heal. I can see that. I can see that. Yeah.
I can see just how awkward it would have been. Like, Molly would have just been like, hey, and Issa would have been like, what's up, girl? And then it would have just, I think, been
true.
very similar to the conversation they had when they were hiking, where it was very clear that both of them had stuff that they needed to get off their chest, but it was like, oh, we'll just sweep it under the rug. It's not a big deal.
It wasn't a very real interaction. Well, so the other interesting thing about this episode is, so firstly, it's going to all be on vacay in Mexico. Number 2, it's the episode that's directed by Lawrence, by
Martin Lawrence?
by Martin Lawrence. No, it's directed by Jay Ellis. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting, which I think also means that there's not going to be no Lawrence in the episode. Not that there's any reason why he would randomly be in Mexico with
well, I
Molly
feel
and
like we can chat maybe after the episode about whether or not Issa and Lawrence should even be a thing.
Oh yes, I mean there are
if that DM even needed to have been sent.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing as well. It's like I feel like Lawrence. I feel like, especially as Latoya keeps saying every week, Lawrence Hive keeps getting teased, and
they will continue.
And they will continue to be teased. This is clearly not going to be a week for Lawrence Hive. So, all right, here we go. It's
are we starting? Okay, hold on. Let me get my.
Yeah.
I just also want to make sure that we also start on the same time so that
so they're doing the recap right now, so I will get the timer started when we see the HBO logo come up, and that is our official sync up point.
Okay, hold on.
Ready.
I'm using HBO Go, and the new interface is so bad. Low-key tripping.
Oh no. Okay, there we go.
That's mine.
Okay.
Don't you what? Did you
No,
hear?
mine's working now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Trying to figure that out. Okay, here we go. Timer, start.
Oh wow. It's just where we left off.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm still like going through this. Oh wait, maybe I can fast forward.
Wow. Oh, so this is her in the Ethiopian place.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, wait. What are you guys seeing?
Okay, so
Oh.
Molly is at the Ethiopian place right now.
Okay.
Our timestamp right here is, 36 seconds into the episode, but 3 minutes, 5 seconds into the stream, if that means
Okay.
anything. I don't know what these timings mean. We're going to go by
But like
this timer.
you're seeing Molly talk to the
Yes,
chick
that's
ordering
right.
food or whatever.
That's right.
Okay, got it.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, so... Oh.
Wait,
so
everyone
Molly's-
stop talking now.
Oh no.
Okay, so Molly saw Issa leave. Oh, of course.
Wait, she
Yeah.
did easily. Okay, wait, let me like
All right, I think
fast
you're-
forward a little bit just because I do feel like you guys are a little ahead of me.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Now, wait, are you seeing the insecure title card?
We just passed that.
Got it. Okay, good.
We're seeing Andrew.
Molly and Andrew are together.
All right, we're good.
Okay. Molly just saw Issa. Wow.
Oh, so she was just picking up food. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
Oh boy.
Oh, Andrew. That's great.
Okay, Issa,
Oh.
her messiness. First of all, Molly, it looks like you packing a suitcase of messiness.
Oh, she's got a meeting.
Oh, wow.
Oof.
Wait, Mitsu, what's your timestamp? I'm at 5:45.
5:34.
Okay.
Oh, Molly, you gotta be nice to your admin.
Yeah, she's not being great.
Oh. This is
Oh no. Oh, remember airports?
I know. I was like, what is this? I was like, what is this thing?
I was like, oh, I've started feeling anxious about like running for flights, and I was like, oh, but airports, I don't.
Oh my god, Molly. First off, look at that tracksuit.
I knew you were gonna say that. That is a full look that you would wear, Justin.
Well, come on, Molly.
Obviously, so would any person with good taste.
Wow. Oh, he seems he seems great to fly with.
If there is a Team Andrew forming, I'm
Yeah,
in
Team
that
Andrew.
Ooh.
Oh no.
I want all the pluses.
No.
Wait, that's Kim Fields. That's Tootie.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
TMI. It's telling everything.
Oh,
This is
wow.
outstanding.
Girl.
So, Justin, I love how you said Tootie, but not Regine.
That's true. That's true. I guess I'm telling how old I am.
Mhm.
Sorry, everybody. I'll go now. I like the way he travels.
Yeah, he seems like
To be fair, there is something to be said for traveling with a new booski, getting all the fun snacks
Yeah.
Mhm.
on an airplane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little stressed.
Oh
I'm a little
no.
stressed right now about how this situation, what's gonna
Oh yeah,
happen.
this is all going to go off the rails. It sounds like this is a family / group hang situation. I doubt this is going to be super romantic.
Mhm.
Wait, I'm sorry. What are they going on the trip for? I missed it. Is like, are his friends going to be there, or is it just the
it
two of
seems
them?
like because he was talking to someone on the phone, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Saying, "See you
I
in
think they said
Mexico."
it's his brother.
His brother, right?
Yeah. And I think she thinks it's more of a like intimate
two of them?
situation than
Does she not
Oh,
know? Is this another lack of
He doesn't
communication?
communicate.
Oh.
I think they communicated. I think Molly's life is going good for once, except for this Issa business.
Oh.
planes.
Oh God. They're doing it. Have they taken off yet? What's going on? They're in the air, right? Okay.
Wow.
Just getting into it right
Wow.
away.
They're on the runway.
No.
Y'all.
Oh dear.
This is wild. Oh man.
What is this dinosaur?
Will we ever see Mexico again?
Oh,
I don't
man.
even know. How dare you?
I will also say the music has been really good this season.
Mhm.
Oh yes.
Jordan says if we can forget about Lawrence and only talk about Andrew, I'd love it. Yep, I agree. Well, not to forget about Lawrence part. I'm still Team Lawrence. But I digress. Nice.
Andy. Wow.
Oh. Wow. Wow, they know how to vacay.
But also, I feel like
Oh,
this
no,
is
here
like
it comes, here it
textbook
comes, yeah.
conversation when you meet.
Mhm.
Oh no.
Oh my God, they look so good when they are freshly landed from a flight.
Exactly
Yeah, wait
right.
a minute. This is, yeah.
Okay, but
Damn.
how long? I mean, but to
From
be honest,
LA
from
to-
LA to get
yeah.
to some spot in Mexico, yeah.
Doesn't matter. I still would be looking out like crash out here.
Okay.
Okay, that's a little bit intense.
She's pouring it
Just
on.
like-
She's pouring it on. She's gonna
Yeah.
straight up like stalk and potentially kill Molly. in this episode. Yes.
Mm.
Ooh, look at that lobby.
Wow.
What is this?
I want to go to here.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. It's looking for Latoya Spanish edition.
Ooh, that fit.
Honestly, I would 100% watch Looking for Latoya as a real show.
Oh, absolutely.
Same. Ooh.
was this?
Oh no. Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Oh no, wait, hold on, wait. What did he bring? Hold on.
All kinds of things.
Wow. Wow. Wow, he just brought the whole store.
The whole set.
A
Wow.
pink butt thing.
Yep. Yep.
Also, that shit, he just bought that shit.
He did. He did, like minutes
In a
before
new
the flight.
package.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you wouldn't accept it if it was like already opened, right?
I know, right?
That's not happening.
I rinsed it. Don't worry.
Right.
I'm sorry, we're missing the fact that Molly just said that she wanted him to. Yep, there we go.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's happening.
Okay.
Mexico. This is a good ad for Mexico, is what it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh!
Yeah. Oh, I see. You've just got to that bit, Sabria. Like a couple of
You
seconds
can
behind.
see where everybody's at
Yeah,
based
yeah,
on
yeah.
their face.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh my god, that's a hilarious line.
Yes.
It's me, Mabel. Oh my
Wow.
god.
It's got a whole
This
story.
could've-
Got a
this
whole
couldn't be-
story.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Outstanding.
I don't go on vacation to exercise. I just
Yeah, I'm with you on this. I
Mhm.
did not.
Mm-mm.
I am reluctantly packing workout gear
Mm-mm.
on a vacation. Like, what is
Yeah.
this?
Also,
Oh, this is amazing.
this dude's hiking outfit looks super like regular ass clothes.
Right.
He's got some real dad vibes.
That's-
Some
I was
dad
just
gear,
gonna say
yeah.
that's
Some
dad
serious
wear.
dad gear.
That's complete dad wear is what that is, yeah. Like the sun hat's not necessary, my guy. You're not on safari.
Wow.
That is
Beautiful.
outstanding.
I would have hard passed on this.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I'm sure this is beautiful what they're about to see. Yeah, okay. Molly said, I got it.
Oh.
Wow. Look at Molly.
Yeah, I did this in, where did I do this? Costa Rica. Which is a lot of fun.
Like a hike and a zip line situation.
Yeah.
That's
Ooh.
outstanding. Oh my god. Even if we weren't in the middle
She
of
said,
a
"Did you
global shutdown, this would still make me want to go to Mexico.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, Mexico is beautiful.
Look at them being
I mean,
so
I will
cute.
say, it's nice seeing Molly just kind of have fun.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
Also,
right.
I was about to say, like, we're over halfway through the episode and everything's great still.
I mean, give it time.
I know I'm so stressed.
Oh, Samus. I feel like you're always the one who's like, oh
He's like, look, even Molly realizes she's having fun.
no.
And like, no drama.
Yeah.
Oh. I keep forgetting they're like roommates or like friends or whatever.
Wait!
Ooh. Oh my god. Oh, now she's gonna be.
What?
Now she's gonna be consumed with this.
Oh no, Molly. That's his friend.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that is his friend. Like, she's talking shit about his friend.
Who had like legit mental problems.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. Wow, Andrew just
Oh,
always
I
coming
guess
through.
I forgot. Right, maybe Issa didn't tell Molly.
Look at this. Look at this growth.
Yeah.
Wow, she has great style. I can't.
Yes. And also, let's,
Who, Molly?
let's also talk about the skincare.
Her for the skincare, the fits.
Yes.
I need to do a lot of things.
Give us the list.
The last 2 episodes have definitely been big on, like, so what is your skincare?
No, Issa's is like fantastic.
Yeah, Issa's was out of control in the last episode.
Wow, Molly.
Okay, girl.
Oh, wow. They're going to get into it?
It's time to whip the
My goodness.
newly packaged toys out.
My goodness. Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
Whoa.
This is happening.
Wow. HBO just doing some real HBO shit.
They're
Yes,
just
they
like,
are.
whatever.
Yes,
It's
they
quarantine.
are. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Well, they had a time.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, no.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh god. Oh god.
Vacationing while black. Mm.
Outstanding.
Oof.
Oh, she said, "Give me that towel."
Oh no. Oh no. I can see what it's happening.
Oh,
I hate. Oh.
Oh, this is about to be bad.
Oh, hold on.
Good.
Oh no. 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 Oh god.
Oh, no.
Making your oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
Oh god.
Oh, God, he's that
Oh
dude.
no.
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
Andrew's brother is that dude.
Oh god.
What is he? He is
Oh
like,
my God.
he is like, well, actually, the situation.
Yeah.
Oh, don't be.
No.
Don't
I'm
be
sorry.
that guy.
This is some real model minority bullshit.
Oh.
Wow. Oh.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Mm.
Molly.
Oh god. This is just so well written.
Mm.
Oh.
I mean, that was a really good fight because it hit a very specific
Yes.
thing for Molly.
Mm-hmm.
It hit a specific thing for her. Yeah, that had layers to it, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because she deals with that shit at her job too.
Exactly right.
Right.
Exactly right.
Also, like, don't do to play devil's advocate. That's
Don't be that guy.
No,
He was that guy.
It's just,
And it's like, but why?
Yeah.
He was
for
that guy.
what, right?
Yeah.
It's actually like not an interesting conversation.
Right. It's
Yeah.
not at all interesting. It's like
No.
fucking life.
No.
Interesting conversation.
No. He's that Facebook friend. He's that Facebook friend that's
Yeah.
like, let me put something out there.
Let's just talk about it.
Yeah, exactly right. Let's just talk about it.
Out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fuck that dude. Fuck that
Jordan
dude.
in the chat says this shows Molly's issues with confrontation too. She always leaves on an insult or storms out. That's true.
Ooh, that is
True.
real. Jordan's
Yeah.
got to come. Jordan's got to come on the show now.
Yeah, Jordan, you're coming on with us next
That's Jordan's just bringing the insight.
week.
That's absolutely right. From day one, Molly has done that.
That's very true.
Mm.
Weirdly, like I feel like people online are saying Molly like reacted to weirdly about that.
What?
Yeah, I
Okay.
know.
Now I need to get on Twitter. I'm confused.
Yeah, like, we need to-
Don't go to Twitter.
Don't
Don't do
do
it.
it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh,
Yeah, let me-
okay.
let
Like
me
he
wait,
brought the
let me
smoothie.
Interesting.
Mm.
Kids, that might be a message.
Wait, what did he say?
He said he doesn't want to let shit fester and we will work it out.
Interesting.
Talking about his
Molly's
brother
like,
and not perhaps the situation that Molly finds herself in with Issa.
Ooh.
Molly's like, I would like to subscribe to this newsletter. Tell me where."
Oh, and now Molly's having her full-on Stella got her groove bag moment. What is this? Just the outfits, the style.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a therapist from the first and second season?
Second season. I don't
Yeah.
even, she didn't have her the
Oh,
first
sorry,
season.
second season.
Yeah. Ooh, sounds like she left.
I did wonder if.
Issues kicking out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come out and say it right now. Listen, if this is the end of Molly and Issa, I wouldn't mind an Issa Asian-based spin-off show. Like,
Wait, Issa and
I mean,
Molly.
Molly and
Yeah.
Asian-based spin-off show.
He's great.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. He looks.
Uh,
Oh, Mabel. There he is.
Mhm. Of course.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, remember me? I've been directing
Lawrence?
this episode.
Right.
Oh, they haven't met. Of course.
They haven't met.
No one calls it Frisco.
No one does that. No one.
No one
Don't
calls
be
it
that
Frisco.
dude.
Don't. Everyone's just being really awkward.
Yeah, this is real awkward.
What?
Oh my god.
That's Condola, I feel like.
Are we gonna get a Lawrence episode after this?
Oh, that'd be interesting. Oh. Yeah, do you think that's... Oh.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, wow.
Ooh.
They were like, "Well, we've got some extra episode. So let's just.
Wait, sorry, I missed. What did Lauren say in the phone?
He was like, "Hey, I've been thinking about you." Whoever it didn't say who he was
Right.
talking to, but just, hey, we should
I'm
meet.
thinking
Like,
about
let's meet
you.
up.
We should get a drink.
And we have no understanding / background as to what would have been in San Francisco.
I don't think so.
Although he's
think
still
so.
working for that tech company, right? So
That's right,
maybe
that's right.
that's
Okay.
like a, you know. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay, are we gonna see the preview after this? Let's see if it
I think we
comes
gotta
up.
see. I
All
think
right.
we gotta figure out where this is
Let's
going
figure out
next.
the preview.
Oh, I guess maybe because I watch it on HBO Go, they don't have the preview.
Oh, interesting. Because yeah, we watch it via
Amazon.
Amazon, yeah, HBO
Yeah.
through Amazon.
Really?
Mm.
It's weird because even on HBO Go, there's no usually like if you go to like the extras, it'll show you the anyway, whatever. You guys will just have to tell me what happens.
Okay.
All
I'll
right,
describe it.
imagine. Imagine.
Justin.
Oh, here we go. They're showing
I
Lawrence
was
at a bar.
100%
No.
right. It's 100%
It's
gonna
gonna be a Lawrence-focused episode. Yeah. Wow.
Oh,
wait!
no!
We just saw Lawrence saying hey to Easter at the bar.
No.
Oh, okay.
And they both look great.
Like here's the thing.
Uh,
I totally get like
Okay.
you know, moving away from someone when it wasn't working in your shit, doing your own thing, and then like coming back together because like you both are two different people.
mhm.
Oh boy.
But like,
That's where
come
we're going.
on, Issa.
No, yeah, it's
Well, you see,
Like, I know it's comfortable. I know it's easy. I know you've, and like, I think Issa said the thing that at least I had felt for her, and I know other people probably have felt as well, where it's like, it always feels kind of shitty when you see your ex who, for like a myriad of reasons, was like an actual like garbage bag when you were dating them, but then like somehow in like a year or two is like, oh, you got your shit together, and it's like,
but was Lawrence
Obviously-
a garbage bag? Was Lawrence a garbage bag?
I mean, like towards the end, I just felt like he was
He was
very
the-
like
her issue
he definitely
with
needed
him-
therapy.
Her issue with him, though, and we're just talking about some season 1 shit now, but like her issue with him was that he just wasn't getting like a job, right? He was like working on his
Yeah.
business or whatever.
I think that he just had no focus and or direction, which to be fair, neither did Issa.
neither did
But
Issa.
at least she
Yeah,
was
It was
doing
called
shit.
rejection, and then she
But
just
well, to me, like I don't give a shit if you don't have a direction or focus. Like, how many of us don't have direction or focus, but we're
Right.
still trying things and we're still
right,
doing.
but so was in Lawrence's defense. So was he. He was like trying to get his woot woot thing together, which fine.
But,
That was like
was he really
a terrible
trying?
idea.
Like,
But ultimately, she cheated on him, and that's why they broke up, right?
well, yeah,
So,
okay, so that was also.
So really,
Oh,
she's
yes.
the one in the
Got it.
wrong, and I think Lawrence is fine. And anyway, yeah. So this episode, I am super impressed at Andrew and continue to be.
Absolutely.
yeah.
But yeah,
I will say I missed any sort of comic relief from Kelly.
that's true.
I know.
I always just like when she kind of like pops in.
There was actually no comic relief this episode, right?
That's what Kim Fields was here for.
Oh, that's true. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
that's
completely
true.
forgot.
She just
I'm so sorry.
Her
randomly showing
foolishness.
up. Yeah.
I mean, what I would say is I am cautiously optimistic about Molly's Molly's beginning to understand that like she needs to change stuff about herself.
Mm-hmm.
And in some ways, even though maybe Issa didn't say it, she said lots of things in the heat of the moment. There were some underlying truths to some of those things, which is that like Molly creates a lot of this drama for herself because of like shit, unresolved shit that she either like doesn't want to talk about or just like thinks it's not like she always thinks she's in the right.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that was just like, I think one case in point with that as well was when she was just like talking shit about Nathan to Andrew, who's like their
Yeah.
best friends, right?
Yeah.
Which is like super weird.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah.
so like it's like read the fucking room, Molly.
It's
like,
some
why
lack of
would you
Yeah.
emotional
say that?
intelligence, right? Like to
Yeah, it's
just,
almost like this complete lack of awareness
Mm.
of like I was saying earlier, what like the shit that comes out of your mouth means something like to the person
Right.
that you're saying it to.
Right.
It's not they're not just these like flippant things, and I think that I can always see when Molly says something that she thinks is like a joke or funny, like haha funny, and it's like Like everyone else is like, why would you say that?
Right. It sucks the air out of the room, and it's like a lack of understanding about what is like the line between like negativity and kind of having something to say about whatever, if you felt like you have been wronged, or there's like ways to do these things or ways to have these conversations that Molly's just not super invested or has not traditionally been invested in. But yeah, I felt good about her. I felt like, I don't know, she handled herself really well in this episode. I feel like even with the bullshit of having this like racist ass incident happen on vacation, and still being able to be like, okay, let's come together and have a conversation about it. It was interesting to me that when he was talking about Nathan, she seemed to have some concern. Like she wanted to like talk to Issa or like tell her. She was like, oh, has he talked to Issa about having like mental health issues, and that being the reason why he dropped off? And it felt like she wanted to do something with that information or like pass it along, but also was like, no, I can't.
But do you remember how like he tried to, remember like Nathan tried to make up to Issa with flowers and Molly blocked him?
That's a key point. Yeah,
we
talked about that last week too.
Yeah. Which is like, they, who knows how things could have worked out with the two of them. But yeah, Molly just inserting herself into that.
But I think, Samus, you said a thing that I found really interesting where you were saying like, you appreciate that Molly is investing in herself and kind of seeing these situations, starting to see them for what they really are. And I feel like she's never really had to do that before because she has for the past, 3 or what is the 5th season or 4th season?
This is 4th season.
For the first, like the 3 seasons, like Issa really never said anything to Molly about any of the like it was one of those where Issa was just like, oh, like that's just Molly. And now it's like, you know what, that is you, but like that is shitty.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, I feel like these situations are forcing Molly to really be like, oh, wait a minute, if I keep up, I'm not going to have no damn friends.
That's
kind of like an enabling situation. Or I've been in that place. I've been in that place where I have had a friend who maybe was not the kindest to me all the time, or maybe had a hard time being happy for me, or had just wasn't always giving me the energy I thought I was giving them. But I was like, that's just, like you said, that's just how this person is. And you get comfortable with that rather than feeling like, okay, this isn't making me feel good. And for my friends' benefit, it would be good to maybe tell them about themselves, But Issa was coasting.
And of course, those are, I say that to also say that those are hard conversations to have. And I think that, when I was in therapy, one of the things that I learned about myself and just like people in general is that you can say things to them, but unless they are in a space to actually hear them and then like actually internalize it, it just takes time. And I always remember, so I did a form of therapy that was like group therapy, and I just remember like sometimes we would say the same thing over and over to like a person about a similar situation. And one time I was just like, we've been talking about this with you for weeks. We've been saying this for weeks. And I just remember like the lead therapist was like, well, yeah, but you have to remember that maybe that person is only just now really hearing what we're saying.
Yeah.
And so I feel like even if even if Issa or Molly, I guess, like had said any of this stuff to each other, like seasons past, it maybe either would have gone over their heads, maybe would have led to a bigger fight, maybe they would have just been like, kiki, whatever. Whereas like now they're both, I think, at a space where they're just like, I think both fed up with it, but also they're individually realizing like this isn't working.
Yeah.
And so like they're just like sort of really seeing it now.
Yeah. What does everybody think about? I guess I just started to think about like looking at both of these episodes. If we're looking at Molly and Issa's separate experiences post all of this, and like what they say about them, because it's interesting that in this episode, like we were just talking about, like there's these points with Molly where she jumps out, like she gets antagonistic, and it's like she's gonna start a fight about this thing. She's gonna start a fight about. She kind of gets pointed about Nathan, the whole thing that happened with the towel woman, and then Andrew's brother. Versus last week, like one of the biggest things in the episode with Issa is it hinged on her. Was she going to actually go track those girls down after they ghosted her? And she was just like, nah.
Oh.
You know? And it feels like these episodes want to work on a meta level about like what they're saying about these two people. You know? Like it feels like there's something that is to be said about like what is the message we're getting from where these two people are in their life right now.
Don't forget as well the fact that we saw Molly be shitty to her assistant earlier in the episode as well, right? And I'm wondering like where
and we
that
had the
fits
same thing
into.
with Issa and her assistant though.
Oh, that's true.
She wasn't shitty to her, but there was also a mirror there too, right?
I just feel like Molly's work situation is a whole nother conversation that I think hopefully she talks about in therapy, but I feel like even though Molly has moved to a working situation where there are more people that look like her, it's still, at least, I mean, I know she's trying, but at least in the very beginning, it still seemed like there was this same pettiness, same cattiness, same like, because I think the other dynamic too is like in Molly's friend group, she is like boss bitch queen, like put together, but like in her work environment, it's like, I'll do whatever you need me to do, or like, sure thing. And so I feel like that's also a really different dynamic, and I think probably a hard one for Molly because she she makes a lot of money, she works really hard, but yet she'll run her fucking mouth in front of Issa, but in a conference room is like boop.
Yeah,
That's
having
true.
to balance those two like ideas of who she thinks herself to be and then who she has to be within a workspace. Like it can create, I mean, just in my own life, I know that when is that huge of a dissonance between like the person I know myself to be or who I am in my like personal life and who I have to be at work, that causes a crisis. Like 100% of the time when I feel a gap that wide, it's like, oh, I'm not able to perform as two completely different humans for very long effectively. And so, yeah, I can definitely see that causing something in Molly for her to like a breakdown, which I think is a good thing is happening in this case. In this like moment, she's kind of breaking down who she thinks herself to be in her personal relationships or with Andrew and saying, okay, you know, it's okay for me to say, to be less concerned with being the person who's got it all. Like I have it all figured out.
Right. And I think, you know, the other thing too is, you know, Samus, you used a great word, which is perform. And I do feel like sometimes with Molly, like she performs all these different characters that sometimes you also have to wonder, like, who, like, does it Molly even really know like who she is, you know, like alone, quiet at night? And I also, when I say perform, I also mean that like we all don't do some types of performance, different performances, whether that's, you know, in front of our friends, at our jobs, whatever. But at the end of the day, like that performance is really an extension of like who we are versus like a mask of like, or versus of like a performance.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like Molly is, and again, I think, at least even if I think about like, that when I was, you know, like 30, like early 30s, 30, 31, like a lot of that shit I had hard lessons in figuring out, like hard lessons in figuring out. And so I think, you know, of all the seasons that I've seen of Insecure, this is the one where I at least feel like I said, like just resonates so much with me because I'm just like, oh yeah, like, God, this sucks.
Yeah. No, and I think that, I mean, we talked a little bit about this last week, but seeing Issa after the block party, because like I'd been really worried up to that point that the block party would happen, and then after that she wouldn't have this like thing that she was working towards, and so she would like, you know, have a whole other crisis, which, you know, we saw a little bit of that last week, but then she like dealt with it pretty well. Like she went and like got a hug from her mum, and that was really sweet. But yeah, so it'll be really interesting. Like I'm looking forward to seeing Issa again next week and seeing how she's like dealing with things in this evolved way, and especially, you know, apparently going on a date with Lawrence, it seems.
But like, where are they on this date? Is it like a romantic spot?
It looked like it was at a nice bar. Like yeah. She has
a little red number.
Yeah,
you know, face is beat for the gods.
Yeah.
It's
So
it's sketchy.
this isn't like, oh, I'm going to stop off and just say hi to Lawrence before a real date.
No.
This is the real date.
Well, we also don't know. Like, obviously, they showed us that teaser for a reason. So, you know, they could be like
teaser for a reason.
Teaser for a reason. You know, so they could have edited that in a way that makes it more significant than it is. But who knows?
I had a question.
Yeah.
Just real quick about, like, Molly keeps saying and or insinuating that Issa's messy. Like, what is messy in this context?
That's a very good question.
You know, because, like, I don't know, she puts so much on Issa being messy, or, you know, she's talking to Nathan and blah, blah, blah. But, like, I'm like, what's the line between, like, living, just like the weirdness of living and bumping into people and figuring yourself out, and being someone who, like, tempts mess or, like, actively seeks out mess, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's a really good question, and I feel like this is, again, where Molly is like, whatever her definition of messy is the definition of messy, versus, right, to what Sam, as what you're saying, is like shit just happening, right? I mean, I think if I just even remember kind of briefly from, I don't know if it was the episode last week's episode or the episode before, but I think for Molly, her big thing is like, she just, like, in her mind cannot comprehend, like, why Issa would be friends with Lawrence and, I'm gonna mess this chick's name up, Condola?
Yeah, Condola.
Okay, because everyone keeps calling her Coachella,
There's, like, all kinds of
whatever.
shit about
Anyway.
her.
Right.
Crayola.
Right, exactly. Captain Crunch, whatever. But so I feel like for Molly, she, you know, because, you know, Molly, first of all, Molly should not be calling anyone's shit messy when she was sleeping with a married man for a very long time.
Right.
But that said, you know, I think Molly, she's like, you know, she's very, like, high and mighty. She's like, well, you know, I took care of that. I'm with a man now, just me and him. We're working on it. And she's like, oh, but Issa, you're over here talking to Nathan, still being friends with Lawrence, still, you know, being friends with Condola. Like, you know, what are you doing? Like, to her, like, that is messy.
Right.
Versus, like, Issa's figuring it out.
Yeah.
Issa being like, well, like, Condola's helping me, so I can't not say something to Lawrence. And, like, Nathan just hit me up. And I also know Nathan's having these, you know, he's working through some shit, so I'm not going to be like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
So once again, Jordan in the chat coming through with the insights, saying, I think she needs Issa to be messy sometimes to feel like she has her shit together, which is true.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That is
it's very true.
Yeah.
Which I think also, the thing that I was just thinking about was, like, this idea of Issa being messy coming from Molly goes back right to season 1, and just kind of, there was this kind of latent, like, jealousy, I think, from Molly, the fact that Issa, even in the very first episode, the fact that Issa was, like, in a long-term, like, 5-year relationship. We saw Molly struggling to, like, date anyone for, like, more than a couple of weeks or whatever. And so, you know, the fact that she kind of threw that away was, like, kind of, I remember that being, like, a thing for Molly at that point, right? Because she was just trying to get anyone to call her boyfriend. Because that was like remember that time she, like, slept with a dude once and then took him to a wedding and was like, oh, we're girlfriend boyfriend now. But yeah, like, I'm wondering whether that's just something. Yeah, I think it is just like a Molly using that label to justify her own decision making versus Issa's.
Yeah, but let's also not forget that, like, the show has given us all these examples in the ways which Molly orders things in her mind, or, like, creates understanding around things in her mind. And that's, like, even when it comes to, like, her own family, even when it comes to, like, her career, it's like you get the sense from this show that Molly, like, I don't think they've said it, but you get the sense that she went to an HBCU, got her degree, like, worked her way up, she got to the firm that she was in when the show started. Then she was like, then I'm gonna go work at this black firm. You know, like, they give, and, like, that she has this sense of, like, her family is this way and my friendships are this way, and that, like, when Molly operates in that way, like, being Issa is gonna look messy as hell. And again, like, I think, to me, that one of the things that's been so fascinating about getting to this season and the way that they've handled both is that you see so much growth on both of their sides, and yet they're still the same people, more or less, you know, like, Issa, is messy in some ways, but, like, she's getting her shit together. And Molly is, like, very particular and orderly, but also just like, her life is in a better place, and like maybe that's the thing that this season is getting to, is that like maybe these people should have never been friends, or like either that or they gotta like figure out what it is that makes them friends, because like
Yeah, and
it's
I
weird
think that
energy at this point.
I think it's probably the latter, that they need to figure out how do they both individually grow and continue to grow, right? Because I do think there's never going to be a point where they both look up and be like, "Yeah, I'm just grown. Like, that's it. No more growing to do. Like I've learned all the lessons, right?" It's continual growth, and I also think that they have to come together and say, "Is this what you're?" excuse me, Justin, what you're saying, like the latter part of that, which is this worth it? Like, is it worth it to work on this relationship or this friendship in whatever like nuanced way we need to, as we both are growing and accept both of us, because that friendship might look different and it might not be like BFFs kiki all the time, but it could look like something different. We just need to figure out what that is together, because I think what they're also trying to do is just like continue to be friends and pretend like they were the same people before, and they're both clearly not, because they are growing, and they are continuing to learn lessons, even if it is the same lesson again and again and again. But I think that the question that they have not asked of each other, whether or not they're asking of themselves, is, do I want to, like, is it worth it to keep working on this friendship? And I feel like for me anyway, like I've had friends like come to me and say like, you did this thing, I didn't really appreciate it. I feel like it really has changed how I feel about you.
Wow.
But like, I appreciate you and I want to keep working on it. So like we've had to like work on the friendship. It wasn't just like, I'm going to casually text you sometimes. It wasn't like, I'm just going to invite you over. It was like, we had to check in with each other. We had to say like, and it was work, but it was worth it.
Right.
And there were some other friends where I was like, you know what? I don't want to put in the work, and that's okay. Yeah. And like, God bless. I hope, like, I want you to always do well, but I don't necessarily need you to be my friend right now. And so I feel like the question that Issa and Molly really need to ask themselves and then have a conversation about, like, is it worth it? And do we want to both put in the work?
Yeah.
To make sure that this friendship works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a good sign that Molly got in touch with her therapist again on that note.
Yes.
Like, and I don't know if that was more about sort of, I don't know if that was sort of a direct result of the confrontation with the brother, which I do want to talk about before we wrap up tonight, because I think that was amazing.
I actually think that, to me, what happened was Molly saw how Andrew handled things, and probably was like, oh, wait, there's a different way. There's other ways I could be doing this.
That Andrew said, I'm not going to let it fester, right? Which, I don't know if
he's Molly subscribed to the newsletter. Molly was like, sign up.
Yeah, but no, that whole confrontation was so good, and it had so many layers, because as as we said at the time, like it's speaking to a specific issue that Molly had about dating outside her race, but then also like speaking to how Molly deals with things in general, but then also like just it's amazing in addressing just like model minority bullshit, which like as someone from another supposed model minority, like I completely understand that, and like just anti-blackness in Asian folks, and just like addressing all of that within that like very short exchange just was kind of amazing. The way it was just done, I was just like, wow, this is so well written, but then also like does the work of like exposing that kind of attitude, and the fact that the brother was like, oh, you think I don't experience racism, and then immediately begins to like discredit Molly's experience. But yeah, I just thought that whole exchange was amazing. And
I think I just feel like it's not like, again, like when people start anything with like to play devil's advocate, it's like, God. I don't want to play that. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
Right. It's not a game.
Not a game.
Oh yeah, and yeah, just saying like, oh, this is an interesting conversation. Like, oh my God, that's like and a also, triggering like, phrase, because like people who are like trying to just rile you up use that, right? To be like, oh yeah.
Well, and even almost try to like, I mean, I know the term gaslight is kind of being used very liberally these days, but even to like, even like baby gaslight Molly to be like, well, do you really think it was about race?
Oh my God, what a shame.
That's why I was like,
Right.
yeah, that's why I
Right.
said it was about race, because I
Yeah.
thought it was. Like,
That
Yeah.
moment.
just like,
Yeah.
saying it,
Yeah, I
saying
feel
it.
like I really appreciated how Molly kind of pushed through that situation, because I mean, granted, that's Molly's personality and how she works through things. It would be interesting to see how like Issa Rae or how Issa would kind of manage that situation.
Yeah.
She would
you
just
know,
start rapping and like walk back out.
slowly back away from the situation,
Yeah.
or like minimize,
Right,
just kinda like
absolutely.
make a joke or
She
whatever.
would.
But I think it was great to see. I don't know, Molly just being like, nah, this is some bullshit, and
Yeah.
I'm not like, even though it could put my relationship in jeopardy, something that I've wanted and cared very much about, I know what I saw and I know what I felt,
Yeah.
and
Right.
I'm going to address that and engage with that. And I don't know, I thought I appreciated seeing that and recognizing like that's a part of Molly that I really like. That
Mhm.
even
Agreed.
if sometimes it lands her in some shit, like her stubbornness, like
Yes,
other times,
yeah.
I think it's great. It's an incredible quality to see. So yeah, I agree, Mitsu. I think that they have the writers have such a dope way of like both microscoping this issue and then like going way out. Like this is a huge conversation that I think we're having right now culturally.
Mhm.
But then there's all of these different layers that are specific to like who Molly is and what her relationship
Right.
is
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Andrew.
It works on
how
like
she works
yeah,
through it.
all of these different layers for sure.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, so good. It's just again like the fact that just in such a short time period, like in these 30-minute episodes, not 1 hour.
Yeah, I know.
30-minute
Thank
episodes.
God.
They get to like just pack in so much nuance and just still continues to be amazing. So all right. Well, I am super curious about what next week is going to be like.
Oh, God.
How many more episodes are there?
3 more. So next week is going to be number 7. No, sorry. Next week's going to be number 8, then 9, then 10. So yeah, 3
Okay.
more. Yes. We'll
I'm
see.
stressed for
I know,
I'm
do
stressed
you
for
think-
next week. I'm just always stressed.
It's stressful.
You can't watch shows with me. I'm the person in the theater who's like, oh my god, go the other way, like, and everyone's like, shut
Oh.
your face.
And I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if this. I mean, this is definitely something that happened as I got older, and I don't know like what triggered it or what happened. But I literally cannot watch either like really embarrassing things happen to other people on TV or like really scary things. I literally will go into the kitchen and
It's like
I-
physically,
and
yeah.
yeah, and I have to tell my boyfriend to like narrate to me what's happening. And he'll just be like, Sabrina, can you just come back in here? And I'm like, just tell me what's happening. Like, I will either be under the covers
Oh,
because I just can't do it. I just can't.
I think that just
Yeah.
means you're a normal, empathetic human being.
You feel it in
High
your
levels of
chest, yeah.
empathy.
Like I know we're having to go soon, but we watched the new Netflix series Blood and Water,
Mm.
which is based in South Africa. It's about
Oh yeah.
it's about a girl who's looking for her missing sister. That's all I'll tell you. But it's
Okay.
like a teenager based show. Anyway, whatever. There were some points where I was like, what's happening? What's going on? And Eric's like,
stressful.
is that even scary? I'm just like, I know, it's just very stressful.
Wait, is this a movie or a series?
It's a series.
Oh, okay,
It's only
okay.
it's 6 episodes. They're
Okay.
like 45 minutes each.
All right. So
We
it's a
watched it all in one go.
Recommended watch.
Yeah, I think I really liked it. One, because it just felt like it just felt kind of nice to see a kind of drama about prep school that wasn't centered around white people.
Mm.
Ooh.
Interesting. I think
quite
that's
honest.
say no more. I think that's.
We're already sold, right? Okay, cool.
I think the characters are really interesting.
Just got added to the queue.
and yeah, it's like a quick little 6 series thing, which I just feel like there's so many series now. There's so many sequels. There's so much to watch. But yeah, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
And the
Yeah.
music was good.
Yeah, I think on our Netflix queue is Issa Rae's new movie,
Oh,
Love First,
yeah.
which we need to watch. So which is definitely on our watch list for Monday.
I don't want to tell you anything
tomorrow.
about it because we watched it 2 days ago. So I will, once you watch it,
Okay, we will debrief. We'll
text
debrief.
me.
We'll debrief. I appreciate it from a representational point of view.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
like,
it's- yeah.
you know, for the culture.
But
They're both hilarious too.
yeah, they are both hilarious. So I think it's going to be great to see them together. Okay, so until next week then. Thank you so much, Sabria, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was so nice chatting with both of you and Samus. It was so nice to finally
It was nice
meet
to
you.
meet you
I've only
too.
heard amazing and wonderful things about you because there's probably only amazing and wonderful things to say about you.
Oh my god. My
aw.
So I'm really happy
Everyone
that
here
we
is amazing. I'm glad
we
we
got
I
to
meet
know.
now.
and
This was
you know,
great.
in the after time, hopefully we can all physically be in the same room together,
Yes,
Yes.
one day in the after
celebrating life.
All
Yeah,
right.
going to airports again. All
Exactly.
That
Right.
stuff.
Just literally just
Running
going to the
flights.
airport and like
And
coming
just
back.
sitting there.
Just right. Just being
That
like,
was wild.
Right.
That was like I was watching sci-fi.
I know. I was like,
Fuck.
what?
Remember when?
I know.
Yeah.
It's distant memory. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right,
Exactly.
I'm going to sign off from the stream. So thank you to those of you who tuned in, or if you're watching
Thanks,
along
everyone.
not live. We hope you also are looking forward to next week. So yeah, Lawrence Hive should have a lot to say about next week. So
Oh,
we'll see.
boy.
We'll see what happens then.
Oh,
All right,
Lord.
thanks for joining us, folks.
Bye, guys.
All right, and